Listen, I gotta tell y'all something today, and some of you ain't gonna like it, but I came here to set you free. The title says it all. The only skirts that make you look younger at 60 slop. No. I see folks every day trying to rewind the clock, chasing after 25 when the calendar says 65. And let me tell you, most of them are running in the wrong direction because it's not about squeezing into the shortest, tightest, loudest thing you can find. No, that's not gonna make you look younger. That's just gonna make people look confused. See, the problem is society's been lying to y'all. They told you youth comes in a bottle, a cream, or a skirt that barely covers your car keys. But let's be honest, when you hit that golden age, when you've lived through life, raised kids, worked jobs, maybe dealt with heartbreak, maybe buried some people, maybe traveled a little, you ain't got to compete with 20-somethings you already won. You survived. So stop trying to dress like you're sneaking into prom. Now let's talk skirts. You want to know what really makes you look younger at 6 and fuss? It's not the skirt itself, it's the attitude you put in it. But if we're gonna get specific, let me break it down. First thing, the midi skirt. Lord have mercy, that midi skirt is magic. Hits right at the calf, flows when you walk, doesn't strangle your circulation. That's not just fashion, that's wisdom. It says, I'm grown, I'm graceful, and I still got it. You put on a nice flattering midi skirt with some soft fabric that moves with you, not against you, and suddenly people stop thinking about your age. They start thinking, wow, she looks incredible. And then you got the A-line skirt. Don't play with me. This one has been saving women for generations. Snatches in at the waist, glides out gently, gives you shape without begging for attention. That A-line says, I'm polished, I'm confident, and I don't need to prove anything to anybody. Pair it with a good blouse, some accessories that sparkle without blinding people, and you're walking around looking like timeless elegance. That's younger than trying too hard. Now, pleated skirts, those are for the playful spirit. Nothing says youthful energy like movement. You walk, they dance. You twirl, they follow. And you know what else? Pleats are forgiving. You can eat at the buffet, still look good. You bend down to hug your grandkids. Pleats got your back. Comfort and style. Now that will knock 10 years off you faster than squeezing into a skirt that cuts off your oxygen supply. And don't think I forgot the pencil skirt. Don't write it sharp, not skin tight, not painted on, but tailored, fitted in a way that says I'm still a boss. That kind of confidence is youthful. Because youth ain't about age, it's about energy. You can be 25 and miserable or 65 and shining. But let me give you the truth nobody else is saying. The only skirt that really makes you look younger, it's the skirt that fits your spirit. The skirt you feel comfortable in, the one that lets you walk tall, laugh loud, and move free. If you're fidgeting, tugging, and hiding every time you sit down, that skirt ain't making you look younger. It's making you look stressed. And stress, honey, ages you faster than time ever could. Ladies, let me remind you, style has no expiration date. Grace has no deadline. And when you carry yourself with joy, kindness, and a little bit of sass, baby, that's forever young. The skirt is just a bonus. When people talk about looking younger at 60 or beyond, they often get caught up in extremes. They think the secret is going short, tight, or flashy, but that almost always works in reverse. The real secret lies in choosing pieces that balance sophistication and comfort, that flatter without forcing, and that give off the kind of elegance that whispers instead of screams. That's why the midi skirt is such a game changer. It carries a kind of magic that works in your favor no matter what body shape you have, no matter how tall or petite you are, and no matter what stage of life you're in. At 60 plus, your style isn't about competing with youth, it's about showing off wisdom with grace, and the midi skirt allows you to do just that. The beauty of the midi skirt lies in its length. Hitting right around the calf, it elongates your figure without showing too much. It keeps things modest, but never frumpy. There's a fine line between dressing too young and dressing too old, and the midi skirt walks that line better than anything else. It's the kind of skirt that says you're fully aware of who you are. You don't need to impress anybody, and you're comfortable in your own skin. And that's what makes people look at you and see youth, because real youth isn't just about years, it's about energy, confidence, and the way you carry yourself. When you walk into a room wearing a midi skirt that flows with each step, people don't think about your age, they think about your presence. What makes it even better is versatility. Midi skirts come in so many fabrics and styles that you can dress them up or down without losing their impact. A flowy chiffon midi with a soft print says lighthearted, carefree, almost like you're on vacation, while a sleek, solid-colored midi in satin or silk whispers elegance and poise. A pleated midi catches the light when you move, and suddenly you look alive and vibrant, almost like you're dancing even when you're just walking across the room. These little touches matter because they create movement, and movement is youth. Nothing makes you look older faster than stiffness, but when your clothes move with you, it makes you look like you're in harmony with life itself. Another thing about midi skirts is they flatter nearly every body type. If you've got curves, the right fabric flows over them instead of fighting them, giving you shape without squeezing. If you're more petite or slim, the length adds structure and balance, giving you presence. And at 60 plus, let's be honest, our bodies change. Gravity shows up uninvited, metabolism slows down, and things don't always sit the way they used to. But the midi skirt doesn't expose your insecurities. It celebrates what you've got left and smooths out the rest. It gives you that effortless look. And when you look effortless, you look fresh, vibrant, and yes, younger. Then there's the comfort factor. A lot of people underestimate how much comfort plays into looking youthful. Think about it when you're uncomfortable, tugging at your clothes, adjusting your waistband, pulling your hemline. Everybody can see it. That tension shows up in your body language and in your face. You instantly look older because discomfort ages you. But when you're at ease in what you're wearing, when you can sit, stand, walk, bend, and move without thinking about it, that freedom reads as youth. A midi skirt gives you that freedom. It's not so short that you're worried about revealing too much, and not so long that it drags or looks heavy. It's that sweet spot that lets you move gracefully and naturally. Now let's talk shoes, because pairing is everything. The beauty of the midi skirt is that it works with flats, sandals, heels, or even sneakers, depending on how you want to express yourself. Slip on ballet flats, and suddenly you're channeling timeless Parisian chic. Add a pair of block heels, and you've got sophistication with stability, no wobbling around like you're in a balancing act. Sneakers with a midi skirt bring out a playful side, like you're saying, yes, I'm 60, but I still have places to go and fun to have. That's the kind of styling that takes years off you without a word. Patterns and colors matter too. At 60 plus, muted tones and neutrals give a refined, polished look, but don't be afraid of prints or brighter shades. A floral midi can bring out your softer, lighter side, while a bold red or cobalt blue midi makes a statement that says you still command attention. There's a misconception that aging means fading into the background, but the right midi skirt in the right color can put you front and center without screaming for validation. It says, I've been here long enough to know my worth, and I still shine. There's also a psychological power in the midi skirt. When you dress in something that fits just right, that moves well, and that you don't have to second guess, you carry yourself differently. You walk taller, you smile easier, and people read that as vitality. Think about it. When someone walks into a room confident, glowing, laughing, you never guess their exact age. You just think they look incredible. The midi skirt gives you that foundation to carry yourself in that way. And that's why it works better than any quick fix, any attempt to look 20 again. It lets you look your best version now. The truth is, people often try to reclaim youth by dressing down, shrinking their style, or forcing trends that don't belong to them anymore. But youth isn't something you can copy, it's something you express. A midi skirt doesn't make you look like you're trying, it makes you look like you're being. It keeps you in the lane of elegance, movement, and confidence, which is where timeless beauty lives, whether you're walking into brunch with friends, heading to a wedding, or just enjoying a day out. That midi skirt sends the message that you know who you are, and that kind of assurance is the youngest thing you can wear. When you think about style that lasts beyond decades, one silhouette comes up over and over again, and that's the A-line. At its core, the A-line skirt is one of the most flattering shapes ever designed because it cinches where you want structure and releases where you want freedom. The waist is gently emphasized, giving you definition without discomfort. And then the fabric flares out, creating a balanced look that celebrates curves while also offering space. At 60 plus, this shape does more than flatter your figure. It highlights confidence in a way that nothing else can. It doesn't scream for attention. It simply frames you with grace, and that subtle elegance is what draws people in. Youthful style is never about trying too hard, and the A-line skirt proves that point every time. One of the reasons the A-line skirt is powerful at this stage of life is because it honors the wisdom of comfort and style together. You've spent years in outfits that pinched, pulled, and demanded constant adjustment. But the A-line doesn't ask you to sacrifice ease for beauty. It understands that beauty comes alive when you feel relaxed in your own skin. The gentle flare means you can sit at a dinner table, walk up a flight of stairs, dance at a party, or bend down to hug your grandchildren without worrying about tugging your hemline or feeling constricted. That kind of freedom is youthful. When you feel unbothered, you move with energy, and that energy communicates something far younger than any trend ever could. The cut itself is a gift because it narrows at the waist, It naturally creates shape even if time and life have shifted your figure. It smooths transitions, adds balance, and prevents clothing from looking boxy. If you've lost volume in some areas or gained it in others, the A-line quietly evens it out without drawing unnecessary focus. People notice a pleasing silhouette, not the little changes age brings. That's part of the genius of this skirt. It doesn't just decorate you, it works with you. And in doing so, it restores that sense of harmony in your look. When harmony is present, people interpret it as youth because imbalance is what tends to give away age. Versatility is another strength of the A-line. With just one piece, you can tell 100 different stories. A crisp, structured A-line in a solid neutral sends a message of authority and sophistication. You could walk into a business meeting or a formal gathering and look polished without trying. A softer A-line in a floral print tells another story. Light, feminine, joyful, like you're ready to enjoy life instead of just watching it go by. There's an A-line in denim that gives casual ease, perfect for strolling through a market or grabbing coffee with friends. The same cut in satin transforms you into elegance personified, suitable for evening occasions where you want to glow. This adaptability means you don't have to chase trends. One timeless silhouette can adapt itself to whatever mood, event, or setting you find yourself in. Colors play an important role in the way the A-line skirt can work for you. Pastels and softer shades create a gentle, romantic look, which radiates a youthful softness. Jewel tones like emerald, sapphire, or ruby add richness and vibrancy, sending a message of vitality and strength. Even black, when worn in an A-line, doesn't read as heavy, it reads as sleek. And patterns, whether stripes, plaids, or polka dots, bring personality and playfulness into your outfit. What's important is that the A-line provides a stable canvas where color can shine without overwhelming you. That balance is what makes it timeless and ageless at the same time. Another advantage is how well the A-line skirt pairs with tops and accessories. A tucked-in blouse emphasizes the waist and keeps the look refined. A soft sweater slightly tucked creates casual elegance. Belts can be added to accentuate shape further. Scarves or statement necklaces can highlight personality, and shoes can shift the tone entirely. Pair with loafers for everyday chic, sandals for ease, heels for a touch of glamour, or even ankle boots for modern edge. No matter how you style it, the A-line keeps the focus where it should be, on you, not on the effort it took to put the outfit together. The psychology of the A-line cannot be overlooked. When you put it on, you feel immediately more put together. That feeling changes the way you carry yourself. You don't fidget or wonder if people are noticing flaws. You stand straighter, smile easier, and walk with more certainty. That shift in posture and presence makes you appear younger than any anti-aging product ever could. People don't see 60, they see confidence. They don't see the lines of time, they see the light in your step. Clothing as power, and this particular shape is designed to give you that subtle lift that translates to renewed energy in the eyes of others. Beyond style, the A-line skirt carries history. It has been worn by women through decades, from the mid-20th century icons who defined elegance to modern women redefining it. That continuity gives it a timeless authority. When you wear an A-line skirt, you're stepping into a lineage of grace. And timelessness is the truest form of youthfulness because it refuses to be pinned down by age. Trends come and go, but this cut remains, proving over and over that it enhances women of every generation. What sets the A-line apart is its quiet confidence. It doesn't rely on shock value or extreme tailoring to make its point. It knows it works, and because of that, it doesn't need to shout. That kind of quiet confidence is magnetic. At 60 plus, you already know who you are. You've faced life's challenges, and you've grown stronger because of them. When you wear a skirt that mirrors that quiet assurance, it shows. People sense it, and they interpret it as vitality. They may not know why you look younger. They may not pinpoint the cut or the style, but they feel it. They see the balance, the confidence, and the harmony, and they respond to it with admiration. When it comes to style that speaks the language youth, few things do it as naturally as a pleated skirt. There's something about the way it moves, the way it dances with you, that instantly adds a sense of liveliness. At 60 plus, movement becomes more than just physical. It becomes symbolic. Movement says you're still here, still vibrant, still part of life. And that's exactly why pleated skirts hold such power. They don't just cover the body, they tell a story every time you take a step. Youth is often associated with energy, with flow, with spontaneity, and pleats bring all of that energy right into your wardrobe without you having to say a single word. The secret to the pleated skirt's magic is in its structure. Dozens of folds catch the light differently with every move. You walk across the room, and suddenly your outfit has rhythm. You turn slightly, and the pleats open like a fan. That kind of dynamic energy creates the illusion of vitality. People don't think of stiffness when they see pleats. They think of life in motion. And nothing says youthful like motion. Contrast that with clothes that sit heavy, that weigh you down, that cling in all the wrong ways. They bring age to the forefront. But pleats are forgiving, playful, and alive. They make people look at you and feel freshness instead of fatigue. Another beauty of the pleated skirt is how it adapts to different occasions while still keeping the youthful edge. A chiffon pleated skirt that falls mid-calf looks light, airy, and perfect for daytime outings, whether that's lunch with friends, a stroll in a park, or a casual family gathering. A metallic pleated skirt, on the other hand, takes that same concept and electrifies it, perfect for evening events where you want to stand out. Even the simplest pleated skirt in a soft, neutral tone creates a sense of polish without stiffness. And if you go for patterns like a subtle stripe or even a bold print, the pleats transform them, breaking up the design into something far more dynamic and interesting. Every pleated skirt, no matter the fabric or color, carries with it that essential sense of play. Pleats are also incredibly flattering. The folds allow for freedom in areas where you don't want cling. They skim over the hips, glide down the thighs, and flow around the legs without grabbing onto anything you'd rather not emphasize. This forgiving quality means you don't have to worry about fluctuating weight or body changes over time. The skirt does the work for you, creating movement and shape without forcing it. When you feel secure in your outfit, you don't fidget or second-guess yourself, and that ease is exactly what makes you appear more youthful. It's not about pretending to be young. It's about radiating joy and freedom, and pleats give you both. Shoes become an exciting partner when it comes to pleated skirts. Pair them with sneakers, and suddenly you've got a sporty, fresh look that gives off youthful, casual vibes. Add a pair of heels, and the pleats take on an elegance, flowing behind you like soft ripples. Slip-on sandals, and the look becomes lighthearted and breezy, perfect for warmer days when you want to feel relaxed but still pulled together. Even boots work beautifully with pleats, adding edge while softening with the movement of the folds. This adaptability means the skirt can shift with your mood and occasion, but no matter how you style it, the youthfulness never leaves. Another subtle but important aspect is sound. Pleated skirts have a quiet swish when you move. That sound is a reminder of liveliness. It's subtle, but it's there. And often the smallest details are the ones that have the greatest impact. It's the same way a person's laugh makes them seem younger. It's a sound of joy. In the same way, the swish of a pleated skirt adds to the aura of youth, even if people can't put their finger on why. It's a little piece of vibrancy you carry with you everywhere. Color choices in pleated skirts also amplify their youthful charm. Bright hues like coral turquoise or sunny yellow radiate positivity. Soft pastels like blush pink or lavender add a delicate, playful energy. Even darker tones like navy or emerald carry freshness when broken up by the texture of pleats, since the folds keep the fabric from ever looking flat or heavy. And for those who want to experiment, metallics or shimmers can bring excitement without crossing into trying too hard territory. The movement of pleats means that even bold colors never overwhelm. They sparkle, shift, and lighten with every step. The pleated skirt is also tied to a sense of nostalgia. It reminds people of school uniforms, of youthful days of movement and freedom. Wearing one at 60 plus doesn't mean you're pretending to be a teenager again. It means you're tapping into that same energy, but with the wisdom and confidence you now have. It bridges the gap between the innocence of youth and the authority of maturity. That's why it makes you appear younger, because it blends the best of both worlds. People don't just see fabric, they see an attitude, and that attitude is ageless. From a psychological perspective, pleated skirts give you permission to play. At 60, society often tells you to tone things down, to fade into neutral colors and stiff shapes. But when you put on something that swings and sways, you remind yourself that life isn't over, that joy is still yours to claim. You may find yourself walking with a little more bounce, maybe even taking longer strides just to feel the fabric move. That playfulness affects your mood. And mood has a direct effect on how people perceive your age. A smile, a spark, a sense of fun. Those are the real markers of youth. And perhaps most importantly, pleats never go out of style. They've been around for centuries in different forms, from ancient civilizations to modern runways. That kind of longevity proves they aren't a fad. Instead, they're a staple that adapts to time, and by wearing them, you align yourself with that same sense of timelessness. Looking younger isn't about tricking anyone. It's about embracing styles that naturally harmonize with energy, joy, and movement. Pleated skirts do exactly that, reminding the world that style, much like spirit, doesn't age. The pencil skirt has always carried an unmistakable air of authority, and that's exactly why it works so well when you've reached 60 and beyond. Unlike styles that rely on excess fabric, playful volume, or dramatic flares, the pencil skirt speaks in a language of precision. It's sharp, clean, and intentional. At this stage of life, Sharpness is not about harshness, it's about refinement. A well-tailored pencil skirt is not the overly tight version people sometimes think of. Instead, it's the version that is structured enough to show confidence, but not so restrictive that it feels forced. It's not meant to suffocate or prove anything. It's meant to frame you in a way that says you are still in charge, still vibrant, and still full of purpose. That kind of visual statement has a youthfulness that no short hemline can replicate. The real magic of a pencil skirt at 60 plus lies in the fit. Too tight and it looks like you're trying to rewind the clock, but properly tailored, it reads as elegant and agilous. The silhouette skims the body, creating length and balance. It doesn't fight your shape, it enhances it in a way that's structured but forgiving. When you walk, there's a straight, confident line that follows you, and that line communicates strength. And strength, when carried with grace, translates as youthful energy. People don't see someone chasing youth, they see someone living in it. Pairing the pencil skirt with the right top adds even more dimension. A crisp button-down town tucked-in creates an image of classic sophistication. A soft blouse with flowing sleeves balances out the structure of the skirt, softening the look while keeping the polish. Even a well-fitted sweater slightly tucked at the front can give a relaxed yet confident vibe. Each combination tells a different story, but the skirt remains the anchor. It keeps the look grounded, sharp, and timeless. That sense of timelessness is one of the greatest gifts of a pencil skirt. It doesn't belong to one decade or one age group. It belongs to any woman who wears it with confidence. Shoes also transform the energy of the pencil skirt. Pairing it with pointed toe flats communicates understated power. Block heels give you stability and elegance, elongating your figure without sacrificing comfort. Classic pumps elevate the look even more, perfect for occasions when you want to radiate authority with style. And even boots, when chosen correctly, add a modern edge that freshens the silhouette. The adaptability of the pencil skirt is a big part of why it makes you look younger. It doesn't lock you into one version of yourself. It allows you to play with different moods while keeping the foundation strong. One thing many people overlook is the pencil skirt's ability to emphasize posture. Because it has structure, it encourages you to stand straighter, to move with more precision. That shift in the way you hold yourself has an immediate effect on how others perceive you. Slouching, dragging, or appearing weighed down can age anyone, no matter their number, but when you walk tall and composed, you project energy. The pencil skirt creates a natural framework for this, reminding you to carry yourself with the kind of dignity that makes people notice you for the right reasons. Another aspect of the pencil skirt that contributes to a younger appearance is the sense of modernity it brings when styled correctly. A knee-length pencil skirt in a neutral color, combined with bold accessories, a statement necklace, a scarf with vibrant tones, or even a sleek leather belt, instantly updates your look. You don't need to overcompensate with trendy pieces. The skirt itself is the timeless base, and the accents you add allow you to express freshness and individuality. This balance between classic and contemporary creates an impression of someone who is in tune with the present while still rooted in elegance. Fabrics also matter in shaping how the pencil skirt reads. Wool blends give a structured, professional appearance perfect for cooler seasons. Cotton and linen blends offer breathability and lightness, making them ideal for daytime or warmer climates. Stretch fabrics add flexibility and comfort, making movement easier without compromising the clean line of the skirt. Each fabric choice allows you to adapt the pencil skirt to your lifestyle, which ensures you're not just wearing it for the sake of style, but for the ease it gives you. Ease always translates as youthful because it eliminates the tension that can show in your body language when clothes feel restrictive. Colors open up another layer of possibilities. A black pencil skirt is the ultimate classic, always slimming, always sleek. Navy brings sophistication with a softer edge, while beige or cream highlights refinement. For those who want to add vibrancy, jewel tones such as burgundy, emerald, or sapphire communicate richness and vitality. Even patterned pencil skirts, when styled with simplicity, can add personality without overwhelming. The key is that the cut keeps everything controlled and polished, so even bold choices appear elegant. That control is what separates ageless style from fleeting trendiness. Psychologically, the pencil skirt carries connotations of power. Historically, it has been linked with professionalism, authority, and leadership. At 60 plus, stepping into that silhouette taps into those associations, reminding both you and others that you're still active, capable, and commanding respect. That reminder is not about pretending to be younger, it's about embodying qualities that people instinctively connect with vitality. Leadership and self-assurance don't age, and when your clothing reflects those qualities, neither does your presence. There's also an understated sensuality in the pencil skirt when worn with confidence. It doesn't flaunt or exaggerate, but it acknowledges shape in a way that is tasteful and powerful. This kind of quiet allure often feels fresher and more youthful than loud or revealing clothing. It says you're comfortable with yourself. You're not trying to prove anything, and that kind of ease is magnetic. When people see you wearing a pencil skirt that fits perfectly and allows you to move freely, they don't think about numbers. They think about elegance and vitality. Perhaps the greatest strength of the pencil skirt is its ability to be both consistent and surprising. Consistent because it always delivers sophistication no matter how you style it. Surprising because small changes, whether in color, fabric, accessories, or footwear, can completely transform the energy of projects. That means you never look stuck in one version of yourself. Instead, you look adaptable, open, and current. Adaptability is one of the most youthful qualities of all, and the pencil skirt gives you that gift with every wear. When it comes to style at 60 and beyond, one of the most overlooked truths is that comfort plays the biggest role in how youthful you appear. People spend so much time obsessing over whether a certain skirt length is appropriate, whether a style is too young or too old, that they forget the most important detail. If you don't feel good in it, you won't look good in it. Comfort is not just about physical ease, it's about mental ease. It's the difference between spending a day pulling at your waistband and hemline versus moving through life freely without a second thought. When you're comfortable, you project ease, and ease is the ultimate sign of youthfulness. Stress shows on your face and your posture, and in the way you carry yourself, but when you're at peace in your clothing, you radiate energy, confidence, and vitality. Think about it. When someone wears something that's too tight, too short, or simply doesn't sit right on them, it's visible to everyone around. They fidget, adjust, and never fully settle. That kind of discomfort adds years because it communicates tension. Tension stiffens your movements and hardens your expression. But when you're in a skirt that feels right, you sit, stand, bend, or walk with no hesitation, and that natural flow of movement looks fresh and alive. Clothing that fights you makes you look older, but clothing that works with you allows your spirit to shine, and that is what takes years off your appearance. Comfort doesn't mean sacrificing style either. A skirt can be soft, breathable, and perfectly fitted without being frumpy. Fabrics matter a great deal here. Cotton blends, light linens, and soft jerseys offer breathability and flexibility. Stretch fabrics give you room to move without losing shape. Even more structured materials, if chosen well, can be lined or designed to sit comfortably while still looking polished. The goal is to wear something that feels as good as it looks. That harmony between comfort and appearance is what makes people notice your glow rather than your age. Another layer of comfort comes from security. At 60 plus, modesty often becomes more of a priority, not because you can't wear something daring, but because you want clothing that lets you move without worry. A skirt that rises every time you sit down or threatens to reveal more than you'd like creates anxiety. That anxiety is aging because it distracts you from being present. But a skirt that offers just the right coverage frees you from that mental weight. You don't spend the day checking yourself in mirrors or tugging fabric back into place. You simply live, and that freedom translates instantly into a more youthful presence. Footwear pairing also ties directly to comfort. You might have worn high, thin heels in your younger years, but if they cause pain now, they're not adding youth, they're adding strain. When you choose shoes that support you, block heels, stylish flats, wedges, or even sneakers with the right skirt, you look younger because you move easier. People underestimate how much movement defines youth. A free stride, a relaxed walk, even the ability to stand with ease makes a world of difference. Comfort in your skirt allows you to pair it with shoes that enhance that natural flow rather than limit it. Color choices can affect comfort as well, not in a physical sense, but in a psychological one. When you wear a shade that feels right for you, that complements your skin tone and reflects your personality, you feel at ease. If you put on something too bold that doesn't align with your spirit, it can feel like wearing a costume. That uneasiness shows even if the skirt itself is stylish. But when you choose colors that energize you without overwhelming you, you feel secure, and that inner comfort radiates outward. That's why some women light up in pastels, others glow in jewel tones, and some find their confidence in deep neutrals. The important thing is not the trend, but the harmony between what you wear and how you feel in it. Accessories, too, can either add to or subtract from comfort. Heavy belts, awkward jewelry, or overly complicated details can make you feel restricted. Simple, well-placed accessory enhances the look without weighing you down. That balance, again, reinforces the youthful ease that comes from comfort. The less you have to fuss with your outfit, the more relaxed you feel, and that relaxation is what makes people perceive you as fresh, vibrant, and confident. One of the strongest arguments for comfort as a path to youthfulness is posture. Uncomfortable clothing changes the way you hold yourself. If something is too tight around the waist, you may hunch slightly to relieve the pressure. If the hemline is too short, you may sit stiffly or cross your arms awkwardly. All of these subtle adjustments aid you because they make you appear tense and unsure. But when your skirt allows you to stand tall, shoulders relaxed and arms free, you immediately look more youthful. Youth is often associated with openness, and openness comes naturally when you're not distracted by discomfort. Comfort also has an emotional layer. When you know your outfit fits well and feels good, you stop thinking about it. That mental freedom lets your personality shine through. You laugh more easily, move more freely, and engage more fully. Compare that to someone who spends the whole evening adjusting their clothes or worrying about what others see. No matter their age, they look older because they're not present in the moment. At 60 plus, presence is everything. The people around you will remember your energy and spirit far more than they'll remember the exact cut of your skirt. Comfort ensures that your energy is positive and open, not closed off or anxious. It's also important to recognize that comfort is a form of self-respect. Choosing skirts that make you feel good instead of ones that impress others sends the message that you value yourself. That self-respect is magnetic. People interpret it as confidence, and confidence is one of the most youthful traits you can project. When you walk into a room clearly at ease with yourself, wearing something that complements your body and spirit, it makes you appear more vibrant than any trendy piece ever could. Finally, comfort creates sustainability in your style. When you find skirts that feel good, you return to them. You build a wardrobe around them, and you no longer chase every passing trend. That stability in your clothing choices means you always look put together, always look like yourself, and never look like you're trying too hard. And not trying too hard, that's the ultimate mark of youthful elegance. The truth about looking younger at 60 and beyond is that it rarely comes from the fabric alone. Skirts, no matter how beautiful, are just pieces of clothing until you bring them to life. The real fountain of youth lies in the spirit you wear along with them. You can put two women in the exact same skirt, styled the same way, and one may look vibrant and full of energy, while the other appears tired and disconnected. The difference isn't in the cut or the color. It's in the energy they project. At this stage of life, joy, grace, and attitude are the ultimate accessories, and they do more for your appearance than any hemline ever could. When you wear a skirt with joy, people notice the sparkle in your eyes before they notice the length of the fabric. A laugh, a smile, a playful gesture, those are timeless. They strip years from your face and soften the lines that time has written. Clothing only amplifies what you already carry inside. So when your spirit is light, your outfit automatically looks better. A plain skirt on a joyful woman radiates more youth than the most expensive designer piece worn without energy. That's why it's so important to dress not just for the body, but for the spirit. If the skirt you're wearing makes you feel alive, confident, and free, then it becomes the skirt that makes you look younger. Grace is another key ingredient. Grace shows in the way you move, the way you sit, the way you carry yourself. A skirt may highlight your figure, but it's grace that highlights your essence. At 60 plus, grace means accepting who you are and carrying that acceptance proudly. It means walking without apology, enjoying without hesitation, and embracing life without bitterness. That kind of grace softens your entire presence. People see you not as an age, but as a presence, and presence has no number. When you bring grace to your clothing, you take control of how others perceive you. They don't see wrinkles or gray hair. They see harmony, calm, and dignity, all of which are more youthful than any attempt to erase age. Attitude, though, is where the real power lies. You can take the same skirt and style it two different ways, but if you wear it with insecurity, it will age you. If you wear it with confidence, it becomes a statement. Attitude changes the way your body communicates without you even realizing it. Shoulders pulled back, head held high, eyes meeting others directly. All of this makes you look engaged and alive. Youthfulness isn't about skin, it's about engagement. People who look younger are the ones who appear invested in the moment, and your attitude determines that investment. If you approach life with curiosity, optimism, and openness, your skirt becomes a partner in broadcasting that energy. It's worth noting that negative energy ages faster than time ever could. Bitterness, resentment, and self-criticism carve deeper lines than the years themselves. No skirt, no matter how well designed, can cover that up. But when your attitude is rooted in gratitude and joy, when you focus on what you still have instead of what you've lost, your clothing becomes a frame for that light. The spirit you wear is contagious. When people feel good in your presence, they automatically see you as younger because joy itself feels youthful. That's why people describe some 60-year-olds as radiant and others as weary. The difference lies in the energy, not the wardrobe. Accessories can help amplify your spirit, but they cannot replace it. A bright scarf, a sparkling necklace, or a bold pair of earrings may add vibrancy, but if you wear them without joy, they lose their power. When your spirit is alive, though, even the simplest detail becomes magnetic. People are drawn to you not because of what you're wearing, but because of how you wear it. That's why the most fashionable women at 60 plus are not always the ones with the largest wardrobes, but the ones with the fullest spirits. They infuse energy into everything they touch, and their clothing simply follows suit. Movement is another way your spirit speaks through your clothing. If you wear a skirt stiffly, afraid to move freely, it doesn't matter how youthful the design is, it will not achieve its purpose. But when you allow yourself to move naturally, to let the fabric flow with your steps, your skirt comes alive. That liveliness is what people associate with youth. Whether you're walking confidently into a room, dancing a little at a family party, or simply moving with ease in your everyday life, the way you animate your clothing has far more effect than the cut itself. Youth is in the freedom of movement, and skirts are designed to highlight that freedom if you let them. Another layer of spirit is individuality. At 60 plus, you've earned the right to wear your story. Your skirt doesn't need to mimic anyone else's style. When you choose pieces that reflect your personality, whether that's bold, soft, classic, or playful, you automatically look more youthful because authenticity shines brighter than imitation. People sense when you're dressing for yourself rather than for approval. And self-expression always reads as vitality. A skirt that fits your spirit becomes an extension of who you are, and nothing looks younger than a woman who is unapologetically herself. Confidence rooted in spirit also gives you permission to experiment. Some women at 60 plus stop taking risks with clothing because they fear looking too much. But when your attitude is youthful, you're willing to try a new color, a different pattern, or unique accessory just because it excites you. That willingness to play is one of the clearest markers of youth. Children play without hesitation, and youth is often defined by experimentation. Carrying that spirit into later years shows the world that you're still evolving, still curious, still embracing life. Your skirt then becomes a canvas for that exploration, a tool to express the fact that your story is ongoing, not finished. Most importantly, the spirit you wear affects the energy in the room. When you walk in with warmth, kindness, and openness, people respond to you with the same energy. That reciprocity makes you feel more connected, and connection is deeply tied to youthfulness. Isolation ages while community enlivens. Your skirt may get you noticed, but your spirit is what keeps people drawn to you. It's the reason they remember you as vibrant, not simply well-dressed.